Today was senior day here at Wilmington High School, and we are fortunate to have the 6 seniors who are on our boys basketball team here with us, and we look forward to a nice little quick interview of them, and hope you enjoy it. I'd like to welcome Ryan Forsena. He actually wears number 33. Ryan's parents are Kristen and Raymond Forsena, and we'd like to thank them for all their efforts they put on to help Ryan get to this point. So Ryan, real quickly, what's your basketball timeline like?
I've been playing basketball since, as far as I can remember. I think I've been in rec since 2nd grade. I started travel basketball 4th, and now I'm here.
Okay, and in the high school level, did you play freshman, JV, and varsity?
Yep,
And
all three. All three. I was freshman first year, JV 2, and JV 1, and then senior.
That's okay.
Varsity twice.
It's tough, you know. We put a lot of pressure on these type of interviews. It's good to get a shout out for all our seniors because you guys do work hard.
Right.
Highlights from this year. What are you looking forward to this year? What are your highlights? How you look at this year?
Highlights so far, I definitely have to say the environment on the bench. I love how everyone's cheering everyone who's playing on, and I'm looking forward to playing more. I can't wait to get on there and help my team out.
Okay, and thought process on your teammates. This is your current teammates and current coaches. How do you look at that?
Well, I've been with Coach Ingram for 2 years. He's a great coach. He's honestly one of my favorite coaches I've ever had. And I love all my teammates. I love the atmosphere. I basically just love everything about them.
That's good to hear. And you're anybody you want to thank, coaches, parents, whatever, to get to this point?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dave O'Mahony, Tom Diodamo, and my dad, Raymond Forsena. They were all coaches, and they really inspired me to keep it going.
Okay, like we like to ask, you've played basketball a long time. What's your number one highlight of all the years you played hoop?
I'd definitely have to say 7th grade. I've played with a couple of these guys since that, and that was definitely my favorite year. So, yeah.
Okay, so who are your basketball influences? What do you got?
I got my dad. He's the one who got me into it. He was my coach up until I'd have to actually 8th grade. And then my little sister, Charlotte, she's also a really big influence. She's really into basketball, scarily wise.
Is she going to be a player? Is she going to play for the girls here?
I hope she is.
That's good news.
Yeah.
And what are you going to miss the most about, let's just say athletics in general? As a senior, you're going to leave. I don't know if you can play forward, but what are you going to miss the most about all this?
I'm definitely going to miss my teammates. They're a bunch of good guys. I've known most of them all my life, and when I go to college, I'm definitely going to miss all that.
So that segues into my next question. What's coming up next? You're going to graduate in June.
Yep.
You talk about going to college.
Yep.
What are you looking at?
I've got 2 top schools right now, WPI and Union, both really good schools. Like them for 2 different reasons. It's going to be a very hard choice.
Okay. And what do you want to think about study-wise?
Biomedical engineering.
Ah, another one who's smarter than me. I like that. That's good news. And then finally, we'll let you give a shout-out to family members. Look right into the camera and thank whoever you want to thank.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, both my sisters, and my grandpa. Both of them, actually. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, our next senior, Evan Watalas. Parents are Christian and CJ Watalas. Welcome, Evan. And like I said to everyone else, you played basketball. What's your basketball career look like?
I've been playing rec since 5th grade, and then travel, middle school, and then all the way through high school. So.
Okay, and you are a captain?
Yeah.
Correct? What are you looking at this year? Highlights already this year? What are you looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward to being able to play. Hopefully we don't get shut down again, but it's just good being out here for my last year.
Okay, and what do you think, again, you're senior, have you been 4 years through Wilmington High School?
No, I went to MC my freshman year, and then I've played varsity since sophomore year.
Since sophomore year, so you've got 3 years of varsity
Yeah.
experience going into this year. Good. What do you take away from your teammates and your coaches?
They've just been a great group of guys that I can get along with and have made the 3 years here very fun. So.
Is there one particular coach or teammate that you've been with? You've been here for 3 years. So Coach Ingram's been here for 3 years. Is there somebody who's really stuck out in helping you progress to this part in your basketball career?
Yeah, Coach Ingram's been a big influence, and he gave me an opportunity right when I transferred here. So I owe him a lot. Yeah.
That's good. So you're from Wilmington. You just
Yeah.
went to MC and then came back. Okay, so you're Wilmington. So you must have played rec basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I've asked everybody else, from rec through now, big basketball highlight of your.
Probably sophomore year, playing in the state tournament at the Tech. That was a fun environment. A lot of people there. So.
It was a crazy day.
Yeah,
That's
it
correct.
was.
I agree with that. Influence on you. Influence on your basketball career. How did you get to this point?
I'd say my dad and my little brother, we've been playing basketball in the driveway for a very long time, so me and him push each other.
So the question is, who beats who? Is your dad?
Me.
You?
Me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, me.
Okay, I'm just checking. My kid would say the same thing. This is like slow. What are you going to miss the most about high school athletics, high school basketball?
I'm going to miss my teammates and the camaraderie that sports brings, and yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing.
Good. And then plans for next year. You're going to be a senior, graduate.
College.
We're going to throw you out into the real world, college. Okay, that's a great answer. What do you think about studying? Do you have any leading schools?
No idea. I'll
No
figure
idea?
it out, yeah.
Okay. Good. Big, small, medium?
Big school.
Okay. Okay. And then finally, we'll get you to look right in the camera. Give a shout out to family members. Anybody else?
Shout out to my mom and dad. Shout out to my little brothers, Jake and Sean.
Our next senior is Nick Sullivan. Nick's parents are Janine and Steven Sullivan. And Nick, you are a manager for the basketball team?
I am.
And got to get some action today, I thought, too, as well?
Yeah.
Because why don't you give me your story? How did you get to where you are with the basketball team?
Growing up, I played rec basketball. I never played travel up until 8th grade. And then freshman year, I tried out, and I made the team. Sophomore year, I tried out, I made the team. Junior year, I did not make the team. But then, I had to get another shot. I made it this year, so.
That's good.
As a manager.
Then that's what it all counts. So what are you looking at this year? Highlights from this year, what are you looking forward to?
I'm just looking out to hang out with the guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to dunk by the end of the year. But you never know.
Dunk by the end of the year?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, is that on the 6-foot rim or the? I'm sorry.
Right there.
I'm
No worries.
such a wise guy. Highlights from Wilmington basketball for the last 4 years. Anything highlights sticks out?
I had a good game against Melrose freshman year. That's been in the back of my mind.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at the teammates and coaches, what are you going to take away from these guys?
They're a great group of guys. I love hanging out with them, seeing them every day. It's always fun. It's always a great environment, and hopefully we can get a couple wins this year.
Okay. What does Coach Ingram rely on you for during game time?
Everything.
And everything can be anything. So
Everything.
one specific thing
I'm
you
his,
think
I'm
you
his number one guy.
What one specific thing you think you stand out on?
The humor.
Yeah, I
Humor.
can tell
I'm a
by
big,
this interview. I can
I'm a
tell.
funny guy.
You're very good. Very, very good sense of humor. It's great to have that as a manager or a player or whatever because you really melded with the teammates. I'm sure the coaches appreciate that kind of thing. So you said you played from rec and you played 8th and 9th grade, and top highlight for high school was Melrose. Anything else stick out in your mind as you go through basketball career?
Probably just growing up with my little brother, seeing him grow as a player, hanging out with them, teaching him new moves and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then influences on you regards to getting to this point, not just to do basketball, but your influences to get here. And it looks like you have a lot of, a lot of determination. You stuck with it. You're here and participating, helping out. Who influenced you to have that type of attitude and the sense of humor that you have?
Growing up, I had Coach Kelly. He coached me, and he also coached my younger brother.
Is that J.P. Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's it called? Freshman year, I had Coach DeCecca. He's a great guy. I haven't talked to him in a bit, but funny guy.
Good.
We all get along. And then Coach Taylor 2 years ago.
Okay, and what are you going to miss the most about all this?
The guys, my teammates, my coaches, just getting along, seeing everyone every day.
Good. And plans for next year, Nick? What are you looking to do?
I want to be a firefighter.
Okay.
I want to do whatever I can to get
And
down to the fire
what
department.
brings you to be? What's the push to be a firefighter?
I like helping people.
Good. And finally, what do you want to shout out to anybody? Look right in the camera there and give us a shout out.
I want to shout out my mom, my dad, my little brother Connor, and I want to shout out Church Street Barbers.
And finally, for Nick, if you do dunk, I want to get video of it, and I'll put it on in between a game.
All right, sounds good.
All right, sir. Thank you
Sounds
very
good.
much. Nick
Thank you.
you.
Sullivan. Okay. First senior tonight is Steven Smolinski, and I'd like to give a mention to the parents because the parents are a very important part of all senior nights. Steven's parents are Margie and Russell Smolinski. Steven, this is your first year playing for the Wilmington High School basketball team.
It is.
Highlights, how you got here. Why don't you give us a quick 30-second summary?
Well, I played travel basketball growing up and had the open season because wrestling got moved out, so I thought I'd make the most of my opportunity, join the hoops team.
That's great. So any highlights from this year? Just real quickly. We only play 2 games. I know it's tough, but what do you think?
Only 2 games into the season, but practice has been amazing for me. Got a lot of friends on the team. Have a good time. Get some good work in, though. Very enjoyable.
Okay, now teammates, any shout out to teammates? What do you think of the coaching staff? You're a senior. You play with a lot of different people. Teammates on the high school team right now and Coach Ingram, what thought process?
My teammates are amazing. Been really welcoming, kind of let me in. I'm the one of the only non-returners, kind of just welcome with open arms. Coaching staff has done the same, and enjoyed it all.
Okay, now just because you said you played travel basketball, you probably played basketball rec when you're like in kindergarten when we were fouling everybody all over the place, correct? So
Yep.
what are your top highlights overall in basketball? Number one, what do you think it's going to be?
I'd have to say 7th grade basketball season. We made a good run. We lost in the championship, but probably some of the most fun I've ever had playing basketball. Great group of kids, great coaching staff. One of my favorite years.
Okay, now I know you're playing for Coach Ingram now. Are there any other coaches or anyone else you want to give a shout out to that helped you get to this point in your basketball career?
Well, quick shout out to Mike Walsh, Dave O'Mahony, and Thomas Diadamo.
Okay, now influences other than those coaches, influences, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, any other influences going forward?
My whole family's been pushing me, helping me out. My brothers play basketball. I'm kind of the only one who doesn't, kind of the misfit of the family. But so I mean, I grew up around it.
That's awesome.
Everyone's been helpful.
That's awesome. Okay, so what would you miss the most about high school athletics in general? Because you're playing for
I'd say the environment. It's crazy how like you can tell even with Corona and without the locker room, it's a totally different sport. Locker room, there's some great memories being made, friendships that I won't forget, and just all around some great moments.
Awesome. And plans for after you're done with high school?
I plan to go to a 4-year undergrad and go to law school after, try and become a defense attorney.
Well, that's good. Any schools that you have in mind right now?
I'm looking at a few right now. Haven't made my mind up yet.
I can never get that out of you guys. I've been trying to dig and dig and dig. That's good, Stephen. Great. So finally, just real quickly, shout out to your family. Give you one opportunity to out there to tell you. And I know we thank parents, but shout out to anybody you want right now.
Got to shout out my mother. Love you, Ma. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Our next senior, DJ Recupero. Parents are Jennifer and Anthony Recupero. Yep. Okay, welcome, DJ. I know that's what you like to go by.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is the one athlete across the spectrum of sports. I probably mispronounced your last name about 90,000 times, so I apologize for that.
That's fine.
So real quickly, off the top, why don't you give me your basketball itinerary timeline?
So back in the day, like 6th grade, I think I got cut from travel, but that made me just like the sport even more to work hard at it. So I made the travel team 7th, 8th grade. And then I've made the team all 4 years of high school.
Okay, and what are your memories of this year? What are you looking for this year? Highlights, what you looking for?
Just it's the last season, just leave it all out there. I love the group of guys, and I just hope we can win. Hopefully there's a tournament, and we can go win that too. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, and coaches, players that you want to that have influenced you, that you want to thank, that you remember, those sorts of things.
All of them have helped me a lot. Like my teammates were great, all my coaches were great. Freshman year, Coach Tacheka, he really boosted my confidence. He kind of put me in a spot where I was like the guy on the freshman team. That just boosted my confidence for the rest of my career.
So through your career, you played for how many coaches at Wilmington?
So I've played for 3 different in high school, and then I played for 1 coach in my 2 years of travel.
Okay, that's good. And then any basketball highlight overall? It can be high school, can be freshman.
Yeah, so freshman year I dropped 20 in a game against Stoneham. I think I had most of my points in the second half, and then we were down by a good amount. I led us back to win our first game of the season. That's definitely my highlight.
That's good. And then your influences in athletics, especially in basketball, just coaches, anybody, players, teammates that influence you?
Yeah, so all my teammates influenced me to get better every day. I fell in love with the sport watching Isaiah Thomas. I just really liked how he was the shortest guy out there, but he went at everybody and had that chip on his shoulder. That's kind of what motivated me to take on basketball.
Okay, and what are you going to miss the most?
Definitely the team. Last year, the locker room was just wicked fun. This year we don't have that, but the practices and the bench, they're still just great group of guys, and I'm going to miss that for sure.
Okay, and now you're going to be a senior, so you're getting pushed down to the real world coming in June. What's your plans for next year?
I think I'm going to college. I'm not sure where yet, and I think I want to study something with sports management or sports analytics, one or the
so
other.
You're still looking?
Yeah, still looking.
Parents pushing you right now or not?
Yeah, kind of. They're the ones pushing me more. Right now I'm not thinking about it too much, but they push me a lot.
That's
so.
good. And then finally, look straight into the camera and give a shout out to somebody, your parents.
I want to say shout out to my parents, my grandparents for driving me when I was younger to practices, always motivating me to do better. Shout out my brother for helping me practice, and then just shout out all my teammates for making sure I stay on track and be a good guy.
Jimmy McCarron, number 23, a captain. Jimmy's parents are Jim and Jennifer McCarron. Okay, welcome, Jim, Jimmy, JJ, JM, whatever. So real quickly, give us your basketball itinerary, how we got to this point.
So early on, I was a big hockey player. It didn't start like my passion for basketball until about 5th grade when I started playing travel. And since then, I really started to fall in love with the game. And now here I am.
Okay, so have you varsity for 2 years or 3 years?
3 years. So sophomore year was my first
So
year.
freshman, you played freshman, then you played sophomore year of varsity?
Correct.
So you've been here for 3 years and you're a captain.
Yep.
Okay, highlights from your Wilmington career, from your 3 years on varsity. What are your highlights?
So my best highlights definitely making the state tournament against the Tech, like Evan was saying earlier. It was just a great experience. I hope to get back to the tournament this year. It's definitely a great experience. So.
Good. And going forward, what about teammates, coaches that you've had here in high school? Any words on words for the wise on them?
So Coach Ingram, Coach Taylor, they're big help. They were big helps to helping me develop my game. I'm definitely thankful for them. Just really big help in my development as a player and as a person.
Okay, and then outside of high school, any other coaches, basketball coaches, or hockey or a baseball coach that you really think really helped you develop as an athlete?
Yeah. So Coach Mike Walsh from my travel team, 5th grade through 8th grade, really helped me fall in love with the game. Coach Taylor, freshman year, and Coach Ingram, big help to my development. So all 3 of those guys,
Good.
Big influence.
Good. And a basketball highlight from the time you were knee-high to one of those little baskets all the way to now. You have one highlight you can think of and remember. Put you on the spot.
Maybe. I mean, the tournament was definitely like the highlight. That was probably like the biggest moment in my basketball career. Just
Good.
making it to that stage. So
the good news is you got 8 more games to make another highlight reel.
Yep.
Or yeah, hopefully you'll do that. Who are your athletic influences?
So definitely my parents. They were big athletes growing up. They definitely pushed me to become a better athlete, better person. Also, just watching like the Celtics, just watching basketball in general, watching the NBA as a young kid, I just started to fall in love with the game. And then like a lot of athletes in the NBA inspired me to pursue basketball and just approach it. Yeah.
Good. That's a very honest answer. So what are you going to miss the most about high school sports, athletics, basketball?
I'm definitely gonna miss the locker room, just the environment of the locker room, like a bunch of great memories between the guys. Just a overall great place to make friends. Bunch of my teammates I met, good friends with them. Definitely gonna miss it. So.
Okay, and what's your future look like? You're a senior, getting ready to graduate. What are you looking for the future?
So definitely going to college, looking at a few schools, maybe Endicott, Plymouth State, just to name a few. Looking to go into business. Yeah.
Good. And we're going to get you one chance here. Look right into the camera there. You give your shout out to parents, grandparents, whoever you want.
I want to say thank you to my parents, Jen and Jim, my sister Maddie, my coach Ray from AAU, Coach Boyd from AAU. Just big thank you to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Jimmy. Appreciate your time. Thanks to our 6 seniors for their contributions to the Wilmington High School boys basketball program. For Wildcat Sports Update, this is Jim Boyle, and we will see you on down the road.